Hey everybody, Happy New Year. I'm super excited today because I've built a spreadsheet specifically for 2020, and it's kind of fun because what it does is it allows us to put in our numbers from our accounts, and we're going to calculate our net worth month over month, every month from 2020, and then we're going to be able to directly compare that month by month to the SPY, the QQQ, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, this is a pretty simple spreadsheet, so we're just going to get straight into it. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Levi Woods. This is Drawbridge Finance. I'd like to wish you a happy new year. To start off the year, we get these amazing annual reports. Now, I'm always super excited to get it. They come out right around this time of year. So I just got mine this weekend for my major margin account, and it gives me my time-weighted annual return, which is always super exciting because it's the time where I get to actually see the inside calculations of all of my trades over the whole year and see the type of return that I have made. Now, one of the things that I like to do is kind of break it down month by month and see if I actually outperformed ETFs, because we know that's a really super simple way to make money in the stock market. I mean, I've done videos on this many times before. We can buy low-cost ETFs that track the indexes. Today, I'm going to compare the QQQ, which tracks the NASDAQ 100. We're going to compare the SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, and then the DIA, which tracks the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Let's just look at what the performance was from those three different funds, because they all performed very well, considering we had this massive drawdown in March. You can see on this chart, there's three different colors. There's the SPY, the Q's in orange, and then the Dow Jones Industrial Average in red. The blue one is going to be your personal information once you fill out the chart. And then what we can see is we can see the growth on $10,000. So we can see which funds outperformed one another. Now, I've done videos on this before. If we look at the numbers, where I'm getting these numbers, how I built this chart, is right here. So the SPY value on December 13th, 2019 was $321. Now the information is readily available. You can just go onto Yahoo Finance and download that anytime you want. So what I've done is I've created a $10,000 account, and so we can compare these month over month. So January 31st, the SPY was trading at $321.73. You can see it barely changed between December 31st and January 31st. It actually went down 0.04%. And that's where I'm getting these numbers. Then what it does is it makes a calculation off of that percentage, and it says, if I had $10,000 invested last December 31st, how much money would it have been worth on January 31st? And I've done that for each of these funds. So we can see those numbers across. March was a huge drawdown. We could see the SPYs lost 12% after they had lost 7.5% or 7.9% in February. So a $10,000 investment in December at the end of March was actually trading at only $8,000. Quite low. That's like a 20% drawdown in that time frame. The Qs performed a lot better. They were at 8,900, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average actually did the worst. It was down to $7,700. So quite a large, almost a 30% drop there. But what I want to know is how it compares to my personal returns. So what I've done is I've created this little chart, and what you can do is you can just type in your account. You can say, I've got a TD account, and it is a Roth IRA. And then you can just look up the statements and say, okay, in that account at the end of last year, I had $103,040. And then January 31st, my account balance was $106,000. And what it does is it starts to calculate out a percentage return. So you can fill this out. This one is formatted for 7 accounts in here. These are all in US dollars. I also have a version where it has Canadian dollars and US dollars, and then it converts it all back to Canadian dollars. And these are easily changed. My spreadsheets aren't locked at all, so it's easy to change these to a different calculation. If this one's converting from US dollars to Canadian, but if you wanted to convert it from something else, you could just change that formula in here. The other thing that we're taking into account in this is any deposits that go in. Let me just show you a little sample that's been filled out. In this case, I've done the Canadian version. So there's 3 different Canadian accounts, and I've filled out the balances from each month off of my statements. And so that information is really easy. It's just the account balance. Then what I've done is I've put in all the deposits that I put into these accounts. And it doesn't really matter which one they go into. We just add up the total deposits for that month, and we just put them in Canadian dollars in this case, into this column. If we were doing it in the US sheet, obviously it would be in US dollars. And what this does is it shows us what our total net account value was at the beginning of all of our accounts combined. And then it tracks it month over month. So we can see that we made a 2% gain in January, and then in February there was a 3% drawdown. And then in March there was a 2% drawdown. We can compare that directly to these other funds. So now let's look at the chart portion. This data is actually showing the percentage return month over month. So we can see in February, the SPY went down quite a lot, but your personal portfolio may not have gone down nearly as far. This one had barely any drawdown. Same in March, just different styles of investing. What it does too is it tracks this growth on $10,000, and we can see where our account might lie in the future. Now this is a fun little chart to fill out because we get to see how our performance was personally compared to those indexes. And also, it's got this data, it just reiterates the fact of how much money we can make investing. I mean, look at this, the Dow Jones Industrial Average, once we calculate in the dividends that were paid, returned 9.59% last year. So somebody just buying the DIA made 9.5%. QQQ's made an astonishing 48% inclusive of this dividend that it paid. That is an unbelievable return on investment. Pretty out there. I mean, we've done videos before on how the Qs perform quite well over time, but last year was an exceptional year. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, well, Levi, how did your portfolio do in 2020? And I'm going to show you guys, but I'm going to show you in a different video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and stay tuned because those returns are pretty juicy. I'll talk to you soon. Let's get rich together.